It's a miserable rainy day on Wednesday. Yesterday was the old crap show at the shop. Very slow day. Very slow day. But I did hear ShopRite was packed, so it must be Turkey Madness Mania. Thanksgiving. And happy Thanksgiving to those. I hope you guys have a feast. It's the laziest day of the year for me. Yesterday night, I did a 20-minute video on another content creator's video about how much debt do you have, people who were at Disney, right? And I don't know if he just picked and chose his content, because we never know really what we're getting in video and AI, but he just picks, I guess, random couples who will actually just talk to him about it and said, hey, how much debt are you in? And most of them all lied. One person was very transparent. Like, well, how much debt are you in? Well, a little bit, but it's spread out. Everyone's giving excuses, right? So then actually after he starts peeling off the layers, getting them to talk, the first couple were young and had student debt loans, and in the end, I don't think he said that. I don't believe the first couple had a home. They were probably renting, student debt. They're working just a regular job and then planned on getting a second job. And then their goal was to pay off their student loans in 15 or 20 years, and they were already in their mid-25s. And I was like, whoa, that's just a bad financial way to figure that out. So those two couples didn't have a car payment because they were already carrying too much debt for the income they made, and they both had to get second jobs to start figuring out how to crush the debt. So then the next couple that they talked to, again, they weren't being very transparent about their debt, and then when he started asking, he's like, yeah, that's actually debt. How much is your credit card debt? How much is, what is your debt, and how's it made up? And they weren't homeowners either. They had college loans and credit card debt. And again, their long-term plan was to pay it off in 15 or 20 years on a payment plan, which was just crazy. So then the next couple, the guy says, I guess they were married or just recently together, that he had about $75,000 worth of his own personal debt, and $60,000 of it was a 2024 Toyota Tacoma. And then the other remaining debt was credit card balances. And they financed on credit cards their Disney trip. So most of the people who were there were financing it on the Disney plan, where it's a special offer to get you there, and 90 days, same as cash, knowing that you're not going to pay it off in 90 days, and then it resorts back to 30% interest. So most of, like I said, they were there on the financed vacation, already in tons of debt. So the couple that we're talking about now, his car payment, his car he just bought 2024, this is 2025. He still owes $60,000 on that car. $60,000. Well, you didn't put a whole lot of money down. Could you imagine what his payments are? Plus his credit card debt. So he's $75K, and I don't think he was completely transparent. So then his wife or girlfriend or whoever she was $150,000 or $180,000 in debt with student loans, credit cards, and also with a $60,000 car note. And then this guy's a financial advisor, and he's telling these people that you're making horrible financial decisions and that you need help. And then to me, I'm saying everybody who buys a new car seems like they're struggling even worse. Okay, so we'll just say the pot's already overflowing, right? Now you're just drowning yourself picking up $1,000 a month car payment. You know what $1,000 a month can do to your credit card debt? A lot. Or your mortgage. So the next person was a husband and wife couple with a child on vacation. Their goal was to pay off their home soon. They had no car payments. they had pretty good jobs, so they said, and they paid cash for their vacation. How about that? Paid cash. Smart. And the guy who these people were in financial trouble is giving them a gift card, and an offer for a financial solution helps. You're not helping those people. They're just going to continue to just stay in debt, because if you're in that much debt, you don't need to be on vacation and whacking it on a credit card or taking a loan for it. I get it. Everybody wants to live. Everybody wants to have a good time, but it comes at a huge expense. So then he did another one that they were in debt. And then the common denominator for me in that in some of those conversations, forget the younger generation and getting student loans and then not completing their educations. The student loans, they weren't completing their educations, or they just gave up and dropped out. I don't even know what the whole program is. But they're talking about paying for student loans for the rest of their lives. And they didn't say they were being doctors or lawyers or attorneys or anything like that. Not at all. And I was in that predicament when I was a young man too. I finally buried all my financial debt probably when I was 25. And it's so easy. It's so easy to just say, yep, get a credit card, get a car payment, and then not really know that the situation doesn't get any better, and then the world keeps changing under your feet. Not include, like, we're gonna exclude a mortgage. Like if you're debt free and you're making a mortgage payment, you're kind of like on the right page, right? Owning a home is a really good thing, meaning you have the title in your hand. Making a mortgage payment for 50 years is insane, because what's going to happen is you're going to take equity lines of credit, and you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to buy a car, you're going to go on vacation, you're going to just max yourself out, and this is what people do. But as he kept doing his quick interviews, I kept saying to myself, well, if you weren't on vacation, that's $10,000 almost instantly that you could have just crushed $15,000 with a credit card debt. That guy had $15,000 in credit card debt, and a vacation to Disney with everything is $8,000 to $10,000 on the minimum. There's no cheap Disney trip. He could have took that money and squashed $10,000 of his $15,000 credit. You know how long it's going to take him to pay off $15,000 in credit card debt, making the minimum payments? Forever. It wasn't designed for you to win. But if he was smart and saying, hey, I don't care, we're going to skip this vacation, and I'm going to crush my credit card debt, and then I only got to choke down $5,000 more, then I need to get rid of this car. And actually, the financial advisor said, get rid of your truck, get yourself an old Ford Ranger, and pay all and get yourself financial freedom. I say that all the time. But in other conversations that he was talking to people, now I don't know if the younger people were taking Ubers or riding bikes or e-bikes. They didn't say they had car payments, but as he kept going into the older generation, they were all being choked down with credit card debt, mortgages, and car payments. And I said to myself, the car payment is a few more nails in your coffin. And if you have everything financial aligning and you're just buying it and paying it off sooner than later, then you're in good position. But most of the world's not. And I watched this guy's videos a few other times before, and it was the same thing. It was very, very few people were financially sound. And, financing a vacation to make yourself feel warm and happy for 8 days in financial turmoil is not good. And taking a vacation because it's interest free, they already know that you're not going to pay it off. They already know that. They know they're going to get rich on that. So yeah, buy an older car. I'm driving an old car. And people ask me, oh, Ant, give up all your insides and outsides. I own everything. I'm liquid. That's all I can say. I'm a homeowner. I own the title. I own everything. I'm not making payments on anything. That's the way it goes. If I can't pay cash for it, and what do I mean by it? If I can't pay cash for it, say if I have to use my credit card or a credit system, if I can't pay that off in 30 days, I don't do it. And I make big purchases, but I already planned for that, and I can do that real easy because I'm not making car payments. Do the math. I've been car payment free for I don't even know how long now, and the simple math is $500 a month times 10 is 5,000. It's 12 months plus maintenance and gas and all that other stuff. You got to put gas in your car that you own also. But you're talking $6,000-$7,000 a year on the cheap. Do that times 5 years. It's $35,000 by driving an older car. Saved. Like you're paying it, right? Just think about it. You're already paying for your car payment, but you don't have any money in the bank. And then as soon as that car's paid off, you're already licking your chops for another car payment, which is going to be higher than that. So dude, I've been car payment for so long, it's crazy. Car payment free. But yeah, it makes sense. That's a lot of change. And if you have any credit card debt and you have a car payment, it's probably easier for you to get rid of the car and get into a cheaper car. And so what, it has to get some repairs and maintenance. It's not going to be $10,000 a year in repairs and maintenance. So you're still ahead driving an old car. You know, you just have to actually just make a decision and say, hey, I don't want to be in debt anymore. I want to have a financial freedom. I want to be able to pay cash for my vacation and never have to worry about it. I don't want to be flipping credit card to credit card companies and playing that game, chasing the lowest APR so I can get ahead. Making the minimum payments only keeps burying you. And that goes for your mortgage. Same thing with your car. If your car payment's $1,000 a month for 5 years and you miss a payment or something happens, it's bad news. All right, but they actually red flagged my video, but I see other content creators putting that content out there, and maybe I just didn't have enough pauses in between, but a lot of what I saw there was bad decisions for their education, that either they didn't see it through, or my father kind of did the same thing when he was younger, you know, took out student loan, did this, did that. And by the time that he finished that, the industry wasn't the same, or it was coming apart, because you have waves in, even in tech and IT, like huge money, and then now, you know, you see those waves in income. But if they were doctors or lawyers or things like that with their student loans, you know, they didn't say that. So I don't know what, maybe they went for arts and crafts or something like that. I don't have an answer. But yeah, student loans is a dangerous thing if you're not smart. Car payment with student loans and a family and a mortgage is a death sentence if you're not smart. And credit card debt too. It's like crazy, man. A lot of people try and help people see the bigger picture. And like I said, I had customers buy brand new cars in the last 3 years, and with their old cars, they could come in, and if it needed something, they're like, yeah, go ahead, fix it. Now their newer cars, they gotta wait, or they're putting it off. And I'm like, yeah, this is just gonna keep piling up. Like, you have a brand new car with 50,000 miles on it, and tires are low, the brakes are low, maintenance is all skipped. This is a bad scenario. You know, okay, next time. And then when they come in, it's going to be like, wow, the car needs $5,000 worth of work, because you didn't do anything the whole time. Your old car never needed that kind of work, because when you came in, it needed 300, 100, 500, 800. You'd fix it. Now you're spending $7,000 to $10,000 a year for a car, and you don't have any extra money. You could be using that in more important places. So car payments are not the way to financial freedom. All right, guys, I got to get in here and get to doing nothing.